Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast, Okay, Karen,
Okay, Karen.
with Angela and Betsy. We're so glad you're here.
Yes,
We are,
thank you for joining us.
yes, we're recording our 24th episode. That's not counting, bonus episodes and things as well.
Right.
So this is our 24th, official 24th episode. So if you've been with us from the beginning, thank you so much. If you're new, we are two best friends that started
Mm-hmm.
a podcast about nothing and everything we
Mm-hmm.
feel like talking about. So we do some
Whatever.
books,
It's
some
all
movies,
good stuff,
some
though.
tradition,
Ray of sunshine things.
anything happy. We started during COVID when we were locked down and needed some interaction and needed some
Yep.
happy times. And so, recording an hour video once a week with our best friend was just what the doctor ordered and really
Exactly.
helped us have something to look forward to and to have some laughs every week. And so that's where we started, and we're still going strong. We're almost done with season one. Season one's going to be 25 episodes, and then we're going to start
Yay!
season two. So we are rounding out season one conveniently with the end of the year for 2020. So, this episode is going to be about Christmas. We both love Christmas. Mine is not Christmassy, but cheers anyway.
Yes, cheers.
So we both love
I will
Christmas
say
so
though,
much.
and we're also up to 63 subscribers.
63. No, I do have a
So
confession. I was using my husband's iPad and I made sure the video was loaded on Sunday, and
yes.
I was like, "Oh, he's not subscribed on that." He has like two different accounts for some reason, so I subscribed. So one of them
Well,
he doesn't know, but that's okay. That's okay. You can
yes.
subscribe your husband's accounts. He doesn't need to know.
Absolutely. Actually, if you're married, just go and subscribe your husband too for us, please.
Or wife.
I don't have a husband,
And
so
maybe the husband's listening to us. Subscribe
Oh
your
yes.
wife.
Okay, so go subscribe your wife.
Subscribe your children's accounts. And if you don't want them to hear it, just turn on. You don't have to have notifications on. So
Right, right.
we're
But
encouraging you to go behind your spouse's back. It's harmless.
it's not bad at all. It's not like we talk about our periods.
No,
Oh wait,
exactly.
we did.
For an hour and 5 minutes.
you know,
Not only
all
our
right.
periods, we reviewed products. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's better or worse.
So, do you have any shout outs for this episode?
I don't think so. I can say that my
Nothing new.
mother-in-law was like, "What?" That my father-in-law was like given super fan status. She's like,
Really?
"Mike's a super fan," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, Elaine. Just write more comments. You'll get there
That's
too."
right, Elaine. Step it up. Elaine, get all your people in your work to subscribe and we'll make you a super fan.
She works with like 4 people, but that's okay. That's good.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that would get us up to closer to 70 than what
That's
we
right.
are.
That's right.
I mean, was our goal 75? I think that's too much, by the way, to end on season one.
I don't
We'll
think
be
that's
lucky
too
if we get
much.
65.
No,
We
come
have
on. Be
2
positive,
episodes
Karen.
left.
Be positive.
No, I'm going to be a real Karen right now. We have 2 episodes left. Do you really think we can hit 75?
We need to promote more on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, please find us. We're okay Karen 40, and we just need to do more. And that's
40 is just a random number, by the way.
random number, has nothing to do with anything to do with us. Absolutely
Nothing.
No. And yeah, and part of that is because we need to keep up with it more. I post some things on there. I try and post something every day or two. Angela does not post anything, so I'm calling you
Not
out.
a thing.
Karen. You need to
Not a
work more on the
thing.
Instagram.
And you know what? When you post something, I'm like, good job. That's nice. I will say this. The other day you posted something that had a curse word in it, and I was like, oh, look at Betsy.
So
So
tell
now
people
I'm
it's me. They don't know if it's me or you that's posting. Well, now they know.
It's 100% you.
Was it funny?
I just said, yeah, I loved it. But now
I'm going to call you out
rewrite.
on something, Karen.
Oh, let's bring it.
Tonight, someone is texting me that she doesn't know how to find a link to a recipe. And I'm like, it's in the
Yeah.
description of our Thanksgiving video. She's like, I need that cheesecake recipe you sent me. And that you sent me before. I can't find it. I sent it like last week on Facebook Messenger. And so she's like, I can't find it though. And I'm feeding the kids and trying to get stuff done. And I'm like, it's in the description. She's like, yeah, I can't find it on there. And I'm like, okay, we're going to learn how to find the description of the video. So if you want links to the recipes we talk about, I linked a couple on the Thanksgiving one. Angela, you can contact Angela and she can
So
tell you where to find them. If you don't know how to get to the description of the video, Angela is going to be your go-to tech girl. You're going to text her or call her and be like, how do I find the links or the
mhm,
description of your
mhm.
product and gadgets video? Because I wanted to buy whatever for my spouse. Then she's going to show you where it's at. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, two things.
Yes.
One, using your kids as an excuse. Come
Um,
on.
that's what you
Feed
get.
my kids, hands
If
are
you birth
busy,
those
blah, blah,
kids, you can use
blah.
them as an excuse every day.
Two, I am sure I am not the only one that had no clue where to find that.
Oh,
I
100%.
actually went through the whole thing again and I was like, oh, maybe it's at the very end, and after you put our thing up,
Oh,
something else clicks.
yeah,
And
no.
I was like, where is it? So when you pointed that out to me, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Zero.
So if you're on the
So I
computer, it
learned
says like
something.
more info or,
Or
video
there's just this
details.
little down like
If you're on your
arrow.
phone, it has a little down area.
Yes,
on the,
that's what mine looks
below
like.
the video on the right-hand corner on the bottom, and it's a
Yeah.
little down area if you're on your phone app. And you click on that and it tells you a little description of the video, whatever I'm going to say we wrote, but whatever Betsy wrote to describe the video and any links
Let's
that we
be
talked
honest.
about. So
Yeah.
now we're going to have to put links in every video.
You mean you're going to have to put
I mean,
links.
it's
it's
on now. It's professional. It's going to be professional from
well,
now
it does
on.
look really nice. You've done a great job.
Well, thank you. That sounded very sincere. I don't know what
It
to think.
was because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with all that.
It's the season.
I just
Look
show
at
up.
you being all
Show
thankful,
up and drink
sweet.
and talk. All right, so like Betsy said, this is our Christmas episode.
Yay.
We're so excited. This is your favorite holiday, right?
My favorite season. So yes,
Christmas is a season.
Well, yeah, Christmas
Yeah,
is a season.
yeah.
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 I mean, it's not like, spring, summer, winter, fall.
Fall. Yeah.
But I think it's a season because it's definitely not just one day.
No,
And so you
correct.
have like a whole month leading up to it. And then I don't have like set things about when I get the decorations up, but I definitely leave them out, I think, longer than most people. Because I just don't want to take it down,
I know.
especially if we travel. If I'm somewhere else for Christmas, like, we spent Christmas at my in-laws, which is beautiful. Love hanging out with their family. Mike and Elaine. It's great to be at your house for Christmas. But then when we get home, I'm like, I don't want to take the tree down yet. Like, I just want to still
You
have
still
time
wanna
in our
enjoy
house
it.
with that. Yeah, especially
And
the
also,
tree. Tree's my favorite.
it's a lot of work to put
It
up
is.
Christmas. Like
Yep.
Christmas is the only time that I take my normal decorations down and put just like Christmas stuff
You
up.
move furniture around. Like, you move a bookshelf from your
Yeah.
living room
Yeah.
and a table. No, you used to have a table. You don't have it there anymore.
Yeah, I move stuff. Yeah, it's
Yep.
that's Christmas for you though. You have to
Yeah.
put your tree in a good place. I actually put up 2 big trees, and then this year I bought a small pencil thin tree that's white that I was going to put hot
Are
pink
you going
on.
to show
but
it
then
to us? Because I think
No.
you should show us your living room.
no.
Why not?
So I don't want people
It's
to.
Christmas, Angela. Just show us one tree then. If you won't show us all
Okay.
3 trees, just show us one.
Okay, I'll show you one. But instead of
Because I don't have
putting
mine
hot
out yet,
pink-
so I can't show you
Oh.
mine. Or like any of your you have to talk about your ornaments. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes.
So your white tree, your new white tree.
Yes, I was going to do hot pink because I thought, oh, that's me. That's 100% me. But then I liked it in the living room, kind of off to the side. And I don't have anything hot pink. Like I do red, red
Yeah.
and green, just traditional colors. So it's all red ornaments, which is a kind of a nod to my grandma Darrow. My mom said my papa owned a flower shop and he would flock a big tree in the front, flock it, with snow. And then she did red. And she told me that years and years ago. And so I did a red and white tree and I really like it. It's smaller than what I thought I wanted. So I might upgrade next year, but it's done and I like it this year,
That's good.
Something
And I
new.
think that's a good decision with it all being in the same room.
Mhm,
Like you said, if
mhm,
it's red everywhere and then you've got one pink thing,
mhm.
it might be a little odd, but it looks
Yeah.
really good with white and the red on it.
Yeah, and
Um,
thank you. And the white lights, thank you. I will say this year, and I have got to shout out my brother who doesn't listen. And if he did, he'd probably
Maybe
be
he'll
like,
start. Can you get his
no.
phone and can you subscribe for him?
But he'll probably be like, why did you even say my name? But last year, my mom did, she does colored lights on the tree inside. And last year, he had an idea to add white on top of the colored, and it really, really like popped. So
I
this
do
year,
really like that on yours.
yes, this year I did the Christmas tree that's in my living room. You cannot see from the road. So I have a tree that's in one of my guest bedrooms that you see from the road, and I decorate my outside with all white lights. So the tree in the guest bedroom is white lights, but the tree in the living room is colored lights, multicolored lights.
Hmm.
And then this year I did add some white to it. So it does really pop, and I love it. So thank you, John Vincent.
Yes. Shout out John Vincent, who will
Yes.
never hear this, but
Mm-mm.
Mama and Mama will.
Mama, right?
So they'll know. They'll know it was John Vincent's idea. That's great.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see it, Angela.
Okay, so this is the small white one with
This is the new one for
the
this year.
yes, with the red.
I really like
Um,
the red and the white together.
thank you. And not all of them are red. See, like that's a reindeer that's gold with red. Santa Claus, that's a big white one. Here's my little dog Priscilla. So that's the red, and see, it goes well with my red up here.
Yeah, because you even have red
Um,
like on the wall with that like coastal
yes.
thing. Yeah.
Now my mama gave me this, so I'm going to point this out. She gave up that to me years and years ago, so I just keep it because I'm sentimental like that. And then this is my other one
With the
So-
colored and the white lights together.
with the colored and the white lights. Yes,
It looks
and I'm
good.
coming in, yeah, on some of my ornaments. That's my angel ornament. So
Yeah.
my cousins.
So,
yeah.
when you get back
That's-
to sitting down, tell us about the ornaments because I kind of do the same thing with my ornaments on our
Oh,
tree. We only
sorry.
have one tree, but the ornaments we kind of collect ornaments in the same way. But I like what you do with your
Yes.
cousins now that you're older.
So yeah, because I have, our cousins, we are older, and it's so Christmas can be so rushed, and it's like, oh, I gotta buy this and this and this person. So a couple years ago, probably 5 now, we just decided, don't buy each other gifts, and let's just exchange ornaments. So it's not all my girl cousins, it's like 4 or 5 of us that do it, and maybe 4 of us. And I love it. One of them you saw was a creations that had 3 of us, with our names. And then last year Regina, we added her. I last year gave out an ornament. It's a round frosted ornament, and it has a picture of my mama's house, which is where we do Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so sentimental to all of us. So, and I put like Papania roots and the address on it, and they loved it. So it's, and it's so nice to see what each of us pick out, because sometimes they pick out, I generally give the same ornament, but like Megan has given me a different ornament, and Maddie, it goes with our personality.
Yeah.
So it really is. Those are fun, and they're so nice every year when I put them out to
to reminisce. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
And I'll say, when I travel, I get an ornament for wherever we are.
I do that too, and I don't have any other souvenir like collectible things that I do when I travel. Angel and I have traveled a lot. And when I was younger, I thought, when I was traveling, I studied abroad for a semester, and so I was in Europe. I'd get like one of those patches from each country. Do you know, like the iron-on sew-on patches, and I put them on my backpack.
But what are you going to do with that?
That's the thing. And then I wasn't 20 anymore, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. So, and the same with my husband collects shot glasses. I don't feel like he doesn't do it as much as he did when he was younger.
My
but
brother
he does
did
have
that
a
when he was
collection.
younger.
Yeah. I think my mom collected spoons at some time. Remember the spoons that were a thing? The spoons. You really don't know. They still sell them in souvenir stores.
Why do you have spoons?
They're just little spoons of like
What do
every
you do with a
state.
little spoon?
It's just like a keychain. It's just they sell like wooden racks where you put all the little spoons and it has a different state with a different picture on it. I can't believe you don't
Mm-mm.
know this. Okay, we need people to comment at the bottom
Maybe I
if
don't
you are
care.
on Team Betsy or Team Angela. I almost said Team Karen. Team Betsy
Well,
or Team Angela. Team Betsy is yes, I've heard of spoons. It's not it's dumb, but I've heard of it. I've seen it. Or Team Angela is you're crazy. That's not a thing I've ever seen.
maybe it's just that I don't care. Like spoons, like I don't know what I don't I'm not understanding why you would want a spoon
Okay, but you
of
don't collect keychains or magnets
Michigan.
or shot glasses either. It's just a
Right.
thing.
I collect ornaments, and I will say because I love earrings, I
Yes.
get earrings from wherever I go. So when
Yeah.
I'm wearing a pair and someone's like, "Oh, I like these earrings," and I'm like,
Well,
in my head, I'm like, "These are my Alaskan earrings." You know, it's
yeah.
I just love.
Yeah. So
So,
we also do an ornament from places we've been. So that's what we do. We get a Christmas ornament. And
hmm
it's less, I feel like, because I don't have places to put everything in my house if I was buying
right,
like, a souvenir from everywhere like that.
spoons.
These spoons. Or it's something useful. Like you got the Eula knife from
Mm.
Alaska.
Which
But that's very
thank you to
practical.
Mike for giving it a name because I didn't know what it was called.
I only knew the name because I looked it up to find a link, which the link, by the way, is in the description under the video. If
Oh
you would like
my
to buy one of
gosh.
those for someone for Christmas, there's an
Y'all,
Amazon
they're
link.
excellent. Good. They're
We do not
excellent
make any
gifts.
money off of those Amazon links. So
We totally should
you can
swipe
click on
up.
that link or you can find it yourself on Amazon. Yes, we should, but we are not, what do
We're
you
not
call
there
it?
yet.
Amazon affiliates.
60,
All you have to do is
63
like
subscribers is not
yeah, but
helping
you don't
us.
have to have a number for that. Anybody can have an affiliation link. And then if people click on it and buy from that link, then you get a portion of it. But I didn't
Oh,
go and set all that up because I was like, it's enough to find like 10 links and post them all on this
true.
video.
True.
So we do ornaments as well. And I love decorating the tree every year because of
hmm
that. So we have another tradition we do with ornaments is my parents growing up always gave us three kids an ornament each year. And it didn't necessarily
Oh.
say like 1995 or something like that. Sometimes it was like the year we went to Disney World, they were Disney themed. But other times it was just like, okay, these are ornaments. So like we all got a little angel ornament, we all got whatever. And they would write the year on the bottom and
hmm
which either our name or the year or both, I don't remember. But then now that we're adults, my mom has separated them and given them all to us. So I have the
Oh,
ornaments from when I was
nice.
little from every year as well. And it's kind of nice. So I'm going to do that with my kids too. So each year I
Yeah.
get them on St. Nicholas, which is December 6th. They get like some candy and an ornament to celebrate St. Nicholas Day.
Now, I started because my mama, started with me giving me, they're called Martin Miazza
Mhm.
ornaments. It's a
Yes.
shop here. So I started with Claire, Betsy's daughter, which
Yes.
is my godchild, and my other godchild, my other niece, Georgia. And every year I give them an ornament. And
Yes.
it's really neat because it's not just like Claire lives in Texas. So she gets whatever the Texas ornament is of that
Mhm.
year. And then Georgia gets the Mississippi
So
ornament.
it's not like you're going to get like a reindeer every year or snowman. Like
Right.
it's a
And
themed for a
it's
state. It's
based
not, yeah.
kind of, yes, on the
You
state. Like,
know, Sean's gonna love because Claire's gonna have
well,
all this Texas stuff.
and the first year it was a rattles, like some type of snake for Texas. And I was like,
Yes.
oh my gosh. And then last year I think it was a pot of chili.
Yeah, I think it was chili last year, but they're really nice. They're like pewter, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so they're
Now,
heavy. She can't break them, which is great.
right.
And so
And
yeah,
it
so
says
Claire's gonna
the
have a nice
state
little
on it.
collection. Yeah.
Right. It says the state and the year. And
Mhm.
I have some that my mom gave me because she started it with me that she was given, and they're actually gold,
Oh,
but they don't make them gold anymore.
hmm,
So I
that's
have like
interesting.
3 gold ones. Yeah.
So my parents also have started now with the grandkids. The last I don't know how many years, a few years, my dad has made an ornament for each of the grandkids each year.
How
So he'll do yeah,
sweet.
so he'll do like a little wood piece and he does wood burning or
Ah,
painting. And it's really neat because my dad is very artistic,
he
but
is.
you don't see him use it a lot. Like, but then he gets something like this where he has a project and you really get to see
Mhm.
it. And I'm like, that's going to be so special for the
For
kids as
sure.
they grow up,
Yes.
that they have like an ornament every year from their grandpa. His
Oh, for
mom,
sure.
my grandmother, did that for us every year. We got a homemade gift from my grandma Hess
Oh,
every year growing up, for all of her grandkids. And they were all different. Some were like little quilted or they were painted some were just like little crafty doll type things, projects you'd see on
right.
Pinterest. But she put the year on the bottom and, in her handwriting. So when I'm decorating my
Mm-hmm.
tree now too, I have all of those from my grandma who's
Hers.
deceased now, so it's just really special
Those are
to pull
really,
those out,
yeah.
yeah. So between
When
the trips and between the ones that we've gotten when we were little, and like,
you
this
have a
is great. So
ton.
I definitely wanna pass that on to my kids to where when they do move out of the house or have their own Christmas tree, they've got all
They
of these
have
from growing up,
they have a set. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
ready.
Of course, then my tree's gonna be completely empty. I'm gonna have to go buy ornaments, which I never do.
Well, you can still keep your travel
Yes,
ornaments.
we'll still have the
And then
travel
you'll
ornaments,
just
yeah.
right.
So speaking of, so this year I went to get personalized ornaments. I was looking online for my son and
Oh.
my daughter, and all of them that I started searching for all have 2020 toilet paper rolls and
Oh,
masks.
I
And I'm
know.
like,
Or the mask
no,
over
this
it.
is for a
I
3-year-old and a
know.
1-year-old. I do not want Santa with a mask and I don't want toilet paper
Yes.
rolls. I want something sweet. Okay, for a little boy and a little girl. So I
Yes.
did find some that did not. They were like little dinosaurs, a pink dinosaur and a green dinosaur, and they put
Oh,
their
they'll
name
like
on them.
that.
And they put their name on them, and it comes in either like porcelain or metal that's painted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna do metal that's painted. We're gonna try and stay
Oh,
away
for
from
sure.
breakables
Yeah,
because they're
no.
little and they're gonna want to play with it. So the top half of our tree is all breakable, and then the bottom half is all stuff that can't be broken because that's what the kids can reach, and they love
Right.
playing with ornaments. So the
Oh, I
tree
know.
is my favorite Christmas decoration. Sorry, nativity. I do love the nativity, but the tree with the lights, it fills a whole room.
And when you
It's
turn
like, oh,
off
so
your like
pretty.
overhead lights
Yes.
and you just have the tree going,
Yep.
like just the tree lights, it is so peaceful to
Yep.
me. It's just a calm. And like I said, things can be crazy and you could be
Yep.
cooking all day or you could be shopping all day or wrapping presents. But then when you sit on your couch or in your chair and you look at the tree with the lights,
It's so
it's
nice.
just, yes, it really is.
Yes.
Now, I will say, I love my mom's nativity. It's my grandma gave it to her when I was in high school. So, but it's a beautiful
It's just a
nativity
really
scene.
nice one. Yeah.
Yes. So I'd like to look at hers. Mine is kind of small. I'm actually looking for
A
a
nicer, bigger
nice,
one. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Ours is pretty small too, but I also feel like I don't have a lot of surface area in my house. Like I just have
Mm.
the one buffet
And you have
table.
small
That's it.
kids.
And so anything else that the kids can reach, I'm like, we did get a Little People uh play
Nativity.
school or whatever, Little
Mm-hmm.
People, Fisher Price, Little People Nativity, because I can set that one out and they can play with it because they want to play with it,
Right,
And then
right.
I have the other one that's up high, but I really only have one surface area that is like, this is off limits. So I have like the Nativity and a couple candles, but everything else, I'm like, where are we going to put it?
See,
So
and
until
my
they get a bit
house
older,
is,
I don't have too much
yeah,
space for
my house at
decorations.
all is like, it is not kid friendly. I
Mm.
mean, if you brought your kids in here, I'm
I
gonna
did
need
bring
you to
my
hold their
kids,
hand the whole
remember?
time.
You showed up when Jenny and I came to surprise you and you weren't there, your mom let us in. And before you got home from work, we're
Oh,
like, sorry, we cleared the bottom 3 shelves off of your
yes.
bookshelf. And you're like, where'd all the stuff go? We're like, we just had to move it because the baby was just
As
grabbing
a
everything.
kid. and
But
and Christmas is like that too.
yeah.
It's not kid friendly.
Mm-mm.
Now, I will say one of our traditions
Uh-huh.
for Christmas, I started years ago having a Christmas bake,
Hmm.
and it's the girls in the family and their kids, and they come to my house, and I try to pick up what can be broke because every year something's broke has been broken, and it's okay. Um, but the kids, I make a ton of sugar cookies,
Hmm.
and then we have gingerbread houses. And the kids sit on
Nice.
my big glass table and they decorate cookies
Uh-huh.
and gingerbread
The cookies are
houses.
already made, so they're just
Yes,
decorating.
yes.
Okay,
They
yeah.
so it's just stacks and stacks of sugar cookies. All the angel, the star, the bell, all that snowman. And then they decorate it with I have tons of sprinkles and icing
Mhm.
and just everything set out. And I put a a plastic tablecloth
I was
down.
gonna ask. I was like, so it's a
Yes.
huge mess when they leave.
Oh, and then when it's done, I
Yeah.
take that whole tablecloth, pick it up, go put it right in the garbage, and
Yeah.
then I just have to sweep.
Thank
But
God for the Dollar Tree.
yeah,
I'm
while
serious.
they are decorating their
Uh-huh.
cookies, the girls like my cousin Regina and Brandy and Sis and Hannah and May, they all Maddie, they all help. We make stuff for my mama's house for Christmas Eve.
Oh,
So
like
we
food and
do,
stuff?
yes, not
Okay.
it's sweets. Like we do
Okay. Okay.
the turtles with
Oh,
the
yeah, those are good.
Rolos and the
Yes.
so all that's
But stuff
done.
that can save for whenever.
Yes, we put them
Yeah.
in tins. Katie, bless her heart, Nicholas's wife, generally is stuck doing the Oreo balls. Hannah does the peanut butter with Ritz crackers and dips them in white. Regina does the pretzel rods. Like everyone pretty much has what they do, you know.
Yeah.
But it's also just really fun. We have a good time.
Uh-huh.
The kids, I think, have a great time. We ooh and ah over all the
Yes.
cookies.
Yeah.
They take majority of them home, and we take some to Mama's.
Yeah.
But we've done that for, I mean, at least 5 years, and on TV you could just play, pick out
Yeah.
any Netflix
Christmas
Christmas
all the
movie.
time. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So speaking of, what would you say do you have to watch every year at Christmas?
Oh, there's a couple.
Okay.
Number one, and this is so easy to watch, is National Lampoon's Christmas
I knew
Vacation.
you were gonna say that. Yeah.
But y'all, I mean, that comes on in April and in June. It's just random on TV.
It's just a funny
sometimes.
movie all the time.
Yes, and it's so if you don't know a quote from that show, from that movie, I don't know if we could be friends. I mean, it's just so good. So that I have to watch. I've actually already watched it this year, twice. Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Oh, I love it. And people don't talk about Scrooge enough,
No,
but it's
I
so
don't think
funny.
so.
So it's a
It
classic
is.
Charles Dickens story
Yes.
of A Christmas Carol, but it's so funny because it's Bill Murray and it's present day. So he's like a TV
Right.
producer or a TV
Right.
executive.
Yes,
But it's really well done.
it is. And
It's very good. It's funny the whole time, but it
the
also has such a good
ghost,
message.
I think the Ghost of Christmas Present, the fairy girl
Oh
with
yeah. Look,
she
Frank,
is,
it's a
yes.
toaster.
She is so funny.
Yes.
So I really like that. I have to watch. I have to watch Elf. Elf
do
is a
like
new
Elf.
Christmas movie, and
Mhm.
I love it. Now, some people are like, "Oh, it gets on my nerves." I really enjoy Elf.
I do enjoy Elf, and I think he's one of those characters that is very lovable, even
Mm-hmm.
though it's over the top and it's
Oh
like
yeah.
he's just like whatever. It's the same as in Enchanted with the princess.
Yes. Yes.
It's like,
But he's
she's so
like,
gullible, whatever, coming into New York, but it's the same. Like it's still a lovable character for me. I don't mind. I'm not
yes.
annoyed by him. So,
No, and he's so funny and like you said, innocent. They're
yeah.
like, "Did you sleep well the first night?" He's, "Oh, well, yeah, I got a good 45 minutes."
Yeah.
It's a cute movie.
I think they did as far as the modern ones go, I think they did a great job with
Right.
that. Yeah.
Yes, because I think that now is going to be a classic,
I think so too. And that's really hard to do, is to introduce a movie and
Mhm.
make it a classic. And some of them that have become surprise, like I've never really gotten into Home Alone, and please listeners, don't crucify me because of this. But I don't know why. Maybe I didn't watch it when I was young enough, so I don't have like the
Oh, see,
nostalgia
we
with it.
watch it all the time. It's
And
so
I know people that
funny.
are like, Christmas isn't Christmas without Home Alone.
Mm,
And I think I just watched it too late. Like I was already like, the like physical comedy and like the like
mhm.
stunts and stuff. I was kind of like, oh, I just didn't get into
But
it.
it is
It's like
really, yeah.
people that watch Goonies that didn't watch it when they were little are like, what's the big deal? Like, okay, I waited so
It's
long and this is
great.
just like,
Yeah, your cousins, the Bowers. It's a great movie.
Yes, it is. So
But
I like Elf as well. So you are a Home Alone fan.
I do like Home Alone. I will say this, Dr. Tyler told me Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, is actually better than the first one. And I have never seen any other ones besides the original Home
Oh,
Alone.
so are you gonna watch it this year?
Yes, I will watch it because if you said it's better than the first one, like what? Stop.
That's a big statement.
So it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So I'll see and I'll give it a try and but like you said, because I'm a little bit older than I was, when I watched the original, I might
Yes.
just be like, it's okay,
Right. Exactly.
you know.
You don't really know. So
You know what else I do like too, and I'll tell you because my niece is kind of hooked on it, is The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
I haven't seen the new one.
Oh, what? He
I
does so good.
really, I mean, maybe I'll watch it.
Yes. And it's also kind of funny. I mean, and he's such a good Grinch. Now, y'all might not agree with me, and I really don't care, but it is
Well,
Merry
see how
Christmas.
I say it? I'm like, don't crucify me. I just don't like Home Alone that much. And it's like, I don't care if you agree with me.
It's good. I'm telling you.
Just
So,
the whole
I can't believe you've never seen
storyline
it.
of like, oh, this is why the Grinch is mean, and here's his
But there's
troubled
a sad
background. I'm like,
But they made fun of him in school, and he was a cute little munchkin Grinch. I mean, you should see it. Please watch it. It's been on 59 times already, and this is still in November.
okay, I don't have cable, Karen, first of all. So I have to actually intentionally, go
Stream
and look
it.
it up. Yes.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
You have Netflix.
I will watch it. But I
Thank
have to
you.
say that I really like Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, the book. And then I like the old cartoon that's like 30 minutes. And even that's a stretch from the
Oh,
book, but I like
gosh.
it. I like that story. And so it just is very like I saw the trailers and I'm like, oh, they just like Hollywoodized it and made this whole big thing of it.
And
And
it's so good.
so yeah,
It is
I will
good.
watch it because of your
Thank you.
recommendation. I
Thank
don't know that
you.
my opinion will change, but I will watch it. Okay. Okay.
Can I tell you this? I was at the store the other day and I saw the Grinch, Dr. Seuss's Grinch book. And I was like,
Yes.
ooh, I'm going to get this
Yes.
to have it, It was all black and white on the inside. And I was like, no kid's going to want to read this.
Yes, they are. Angela.
No, they're not. The kids want color. They want fun and
do you think they don't want to read the other Dr. Seuss books that are black and white? That only have like two colors on them?
We're not talking about those right now. We're talking about the Grinch. So instead, I bought a book that you press the button and it's the songs. And there's a lot of color and
so
a
you
lot
went
of
from
noise.
like the complete opposite extreme. Like let's just have buttons so you don't have to read. You could just play with the music the whole time.
Well, no, you press it and it does that. So you have to find the page
have
and
to read with it. Okay.
You sing. So
okay. Well,
yeah. So what's your favorite movie?
You would be disappointed because I actually sent the hardback Grinch book to my godchildren a couple years ago for Christmas. That's what they got for Christmas.
I'm sorry.
And they liked it. So my kids like it.
Okay.
I don't think that you should be debating with me about what small children like to read. Okay, if I'm an expert in anything, that's what my degree is in, Karen, is teaching small children.
I think kids like some color in the books
They do, and they like music, but they do like stories.
It keeps
even if
their
it's black and
attention.
White. They will listen to the stories, especially if their parents are excited about them. Okay. All right. So
so what are your movies?
Yes. I was like, do you want to hear my opinion? No, you don't. But I'm gonna tell you. I
would like to.
Okay. So
I would like to.
In the line with the older things that I like would be Rudolph. I like the Rudolph that's like it's not claymation, but you know what I mean? The little.
It's like, yes, so old. I think it's almost as old as we are.
And also Frosty the Snowman. It's definitely older than us. For sure. Older than us. But I love it. I love the story. I love like the characters. It's classic. And I mean, you can tell it's classic because they still like have the characters out, everywhere.
And how Rudolph moves in it is so
it's just
awkward
it's just a story of,
lesson.
inclusion. There's the elf that wants to be a
Yeah,
dentist, and there's Rudolph who's not like the other reindeers, and so it's like, yeah, this is a good story for kids to learn. And it's cute. I really
it
like it.
is.
So Rudolph I liked, Scrooge I really like. And Scrooge is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, more modern. It's not like from the 50s anyway.
Right,
It
right.
was probably 90, 95.
No, yeah, I think no, it was either
I don't
like
think it was
88,
80s.
89,
Okay,
90,
okay. All right,
like
so late
right
80s or
around that
90s.
time. Hmm.
And then also old ones I like would be It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh
I do
yeah,
like
with
It's a
the
Wonderful
aim
Life.
every time you hear the bells,
Yes. And just the
an
story of
angel
a
gets
guy
his
who's like
wings.
having a rough time and realizes like,
Hmm.
okay, like life is worth living even when it's in the pits,
That is a good
Um,
one.
it is really
Good
good. So
whole storyline, like
yes,
you
and it
said.
just happens to kind of, it happens to be at Christmas time, so it makes it more
Right,
magical,
right.
but it's not really about Christmas. I
Mm-mm.
like that a lot better than Miracle on 34th Street. Sorry, people. But probably because I don't know, I just like the story better.
I
So
like the new Miracle on 34th Street with
mhm.
the guy Dylan
you
make Dylan
you like
something,
it
I think.
because of Dylan McDermott.
Hmm.
Okay, all right. Just to be clear
Yeah.
for anyone who's thinking of watching the movie, the reason
Hmm.
Angel likes it is because the actor is attractive.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
basically.
just wanted everybody to be aware before
Hey,
they go rent it thinking it's a good movie.
he's very attractive.
I
So
do, he is very
he
attractive. Okay.
is.
All right. And then White Christmas
Yeah,
with
I don't
the
think I've ever seen it.
oh my word. Are you kidding me? You know the
No.
sister song, Sisters, Sisters? No, you don't. Oh my
What does
gosh.
Sister have to do with Christmas?
I I
Are you
can't
for real?
I can't believe you right now. How you need to watch this movie.
Listen,
Okay.
while you're watching White Christmas, my dad had us watching Die Hard. And
Okay.
it's based in Christmas time.
Okay. Here's the deal. I'm going to
Okay.
watch Jim Carrey in The Grinch because you
You're
told
gonna
me I
make me
should.
watch. You're gonna make me watch
You
White
are going to
Christmas.
watch, you can choose White Christmas or Holiday Inn. White Christmas is way more popular with people. So if you want to
What's
be in the
Holiday
know,
Inn? I have never even heard of Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn is an old movie with Bing
It's a good
Crosby
rap song with Pharrell.
with Bing Crosby and I think it's Fred Astaire. And Bing Crosby decides to retire from show business and open up an inn that is only open on the holidays. So he only has to work like 20 days a year or something.
Hmm.
And so it's a story of him trying to like open up this inn in Vermont or somewhere.
And what's
And
White Christmas about?
White Christmas is about two sets of performing a sister act and then a very popular like duo with two men. And they, end up, you know, doing a show
Together?
together and, two of
Okay,
them
which
fall in
one is
love.
shorter?
Oh my God. Okay, just watch White Christmas. Neither one of them are short because they're old movies and they tell a wonderful story. So it takes a little while to do the depth of character. The Grinch may be shorter because there's not as much story. Okay, so watch White Christmas.
Fine.
Please
I'll
tell me when
watch
you're going to
White
watch it. I
Christmas.
will watch it with
Okay.
you if you want.
Okay.
We can have a movie
I don't
party.
know how we're gonna watch it.
For anyone who, well, I'll look up where it is. I'm sure it's
Okay.
online somewhere. For anyone who doesn't know, when we say we're going to watch it together, we are like, what, like 800 miles apart, 600 miles apart? What we mean
Mhm.
is we
10
started at
hours.
the same time
Mm-hmm.
on TV, on streaming, and then we text back and forth
We text the whole
about the
time.
movie.
Yes, and we've done it.
It's very
for a
enjoyable.
lot of movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband works nights too, so it's not like
And
I'm
I don't
watching a
have
movie with
a
my
husband.
husband and I'm like texting the whole time with Angela. That might be a little annoying. What are you doing? I'm talking to Angela about the dress she's wearing. Because most of it is that we do talk a little bit
That
more
does
about
come up.
cinematic
Yes.
cinematic elements, but not very much.
Not a lot. More about the clothing.
And
So okay, I'll watch White Christmas. Or is that all that you have?
That's what I have on my list. So we have some
Can I
similar
ask
ones
you
on our
this?
list. Yes.
Do you okay, because I really like Love Actually also. Do you What, like, need to watch that? I want to watch that every Christmas.
Love Actually is cute. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
don't really consider it takes place at Christmas time,
Mhm, mhm.
but I didn't think of it as a Christmas movie. I don't and this one, does it take place at Christmas? I don't know. The Holiday?
Um,
Is that a Christmas? Is it Christmas time or is it just
it's
cold and
Christmas
wintry?
time. No, it's Christmas time and then New Year's too.
Okay.
Because I
Because
think
I think that
at the
one's really
end they
cute,
get
by the
together.
way.
See, and I do like both of them, but I
Okay.
like Love Actually better. But you know me, I like movies with different plot,
Yeah, that have
storylines, and
like
they come
10 different
kind of all come
characters.
together.
All you're seeing
Yes,
the stories of
yes.
everyone at the same time.
And Colin Firth is in it.
There you go. You
There
can't
you
beat
go.
Mr. Darcy.
No, y'all.
Uh, unless it's Dylan McDermott, but that's going to be a whole nother episode where we compare those two. Stay tuned in season 2.
Oh,
Dylan
I
McDermott
bet
versus
y'all
Colin
can't
Firth.
wait.
I don't even know. I mean, we can't throw Bradley Cooper into the mix because then it just won't go anywhere.
My heart
There'll be no
can't take
debate.
it.
There'll be no
Yes.
debate.
It's just, like you and pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie trumps everything. So does Brad.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to make a pie just to keep at my house and not share with my
Oh.
family at the gathering.
So we make pumpkin pies at Christmas time too. Do you do it at Christmas?
I would. So my husband doesn't really like pumpkin pie
That's
that
a
much. And
shame.
yeah, so I'm like, well, if I make a pie, it's all for me. Now the kids will eat it. But before I just
Okay.
had one child that was 1 year old, I'm like, it's going to be mostly for me. They don't eat that much.
Right. She
Um,
might have 2 bites out of the whole pie.
Right. They get a very small piece. And then she just told me today, I said, it's Thanksgiving and we're going to have turkey. She's like, I like turkey. And then I said, we're going to have pie. And I said, I like pie. And she was like, I don't really like pie. And I was like, you don't like pie? And she goes, but that's okay, Mom, because I'll eat other things that I do like. Don't worry. I said,
But
okay.
she
And then I
might
said, well,
not
Aunt
realize
Jenny's going to
what
bring.
pie is.
Right. And I don't think I think it's
Yes.
been a long time. I think if I put pumpkin fry in front of her and made her try a
Mhm.
bite, she'd be like, okay, this is good. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I'm not gonna force her. If she'd rather have a brownie, I was like, Aunt Jenny's gonna be brownies. And she was like, I like brownies. And I was like, yeah, you can have a brownie. I'll have a pie.
Yeah.
I
But
do
we
like
do
brownies
pumpkin.
also, but
We do pumpkin also at
I
from
would be
Mama's
happy.
house.
I would be happy to have pumpkin at Christmas as well.
Yeah.
I'd have no problem with that. I would have no problem
Actually,
having pumpkin pie at Easter. I know it's not seasonal, but it comes in a can, people. You can make it anytime.
right. That's
I
true.
mean, I'm not doing fresh pumpkin, so you can get the
My
can.
mom actually did fresh pumpkin this year and it turned out so good.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was very impressed.
Okay.
And she did her pie crust from scratch from Ina Garner recipe.
Mhm.
And
I use
then
Pioneer Woman, and I get really good reviews. I always make the crust from scratch because I feel like that goes further than the filling from scratch, if that makes sense.
I do Pioneer Woman's pecan pie.
Okay. Yeah, her pie
Yeah.
crust is really good. So, yeah. So I sent 2 pies with my husband to work last year at Christmas because they do like a
Mhm.
potluck for the people that have to work. And it was like cherry that I did like lucky leaf filling and apple that I also did filling. I didn't even do the apple filling myself, but I made the crust myself and I did crust on the top, like did the lattice work. And then the apple, it was just a whole top with cuts in it. And when he came back, he was like, oh my gosh, everybody was raving about the pies. And they're like, did she make these from scratch? Did she make these from scratch? And I'm like, I made the crust from scratch. I did not make the filling.
Cherry, we do not do cherry because it's just not very popular. Like we have so much other desserts. Cherry is not, it's not Thanksgiving or Christmas. It doesn't make the cut.
I could see pecan being more popular.
Yes. And we do both at Thanksgiving. Actually, all the pies we do at Thanksgiving, we do at Christmas. The pumpkin sweet potato, the pecan, and the chocolate. Those are all repeated at Christmas.
So I think so. I did that because my husband doesn't like pumpkin very much. He prefers fruity pies, and so I did an apple and a cherry. Also because of whatever else was on the sign up list.
Does he like that apple and cherry?
He does. I asked him this year because he mentioned sometime during the year, I think when we were watching Great British Baking Show, that of pie's not really his favorite, but of pies like key lime or lemon meringue, Like those type of
Oh,
pies were more
which
what he
are not
liked.
associated very much with
No,
Christmas
no,
time,
they're
you
not.
know.
But I am so this year he's working Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna make him one of those as
For
for one
his
of them to
things.
bring in and the other
Yeah.
guy. So I'll do like apple and that because I'm like he has to work. I want him to have even though he's going to work and bringing it to work, I want to have something that he really likes. It's
Right,
Thanksgiving, you
right,
know. So I mean, people bring whatever in on the sign up list, but I'm like I would like him to at least have something that he really likes because it's
right.
Thanksgiving Day, you know.
So, do y'all have, since we're kind of getting into the food,
Mhm.
do y'all have something y'all do at your family for tradition Christmas? Because we for sure have it at our house.
I think that we do ham
Okay.
sometimes. If it's a big gathering, we probably have 2. We do like ham and turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fine with doing turkey twice. Turkey at Thanksgiving, turkey at Christmas, but
Right.
we really switch it up. So, we usually do ham, and then a lot of the sides are similar to Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Right.
we do mashed potatoes, we do, similar so like you said, similar desserts. We have
Mm-hmm.
more like homemade chocolates, homemade
Mm-hmm.
candies, homemade
Mm-hmm.
cookies, those kind of things more at Christmas. We don't have as much of that at Thanksgiving, but definitely like cooking, decorating, those kind of things every year. We always say like, we don't want to do too much or like we don't want everybody to be too busy, but then when it
And
comes
it's
down
so
to it,
much.
you're like, "Ah, but we wanna decorate cookies, like, but I just wanna make 5 pies," even though, like,
Right.
I'm exhausted, but it's Christmas, so
Like
it just you
last
just end up
year,
getting busier and busier because there's so many things that you wanna do.
every day leading up to Christmas, I made some type of cookie.
Oh my gosh.
And they were really good though, some of them. Like
Yeah.
I make these lace cookies that are super, super thin.
Mhm.
They have oatmeal in them and chopped pecans
I
really
know what you're
small, but
talking
they're
about,
like
yeah.
you can hold it up and see through them. And then I made these cranberry pistachio cookies.
That sounds really good.
Oh,
Do they have
those
white
were,
chocolate in them also?
nope, they're
Okay.
no, but I have seen a recipe with them. But those were so good. So my dad used to make, they're called Gucci Dachis. It's an Italian fig
You've
cookie.
told me about them, but I don't think I've ever
Yes.
had them.
It's like a fig Newton. And
I love fig
he would
Newtons.
make he would make those and he would make Annie's cookies. And my mama made Annie's cookies too. So last year my mom made, well, the last 2 years actually, my mom has made Gucci Dachis.
Oh,
And
really?
yes.
That's
And
fun.
she's like perfecting it. So
Okay, yeah.
but it's good memories,
Yeah,
from
that's really
my dad.
fun. Yeah.
Hmm. So, but I will say it. So Christmas Eve is when we get together with the Papania family at my mama's house. And she does, when we were growing up, we used to do sausage biscuits,
Mhm.
like mini sausage biscuits and just appetizers. And now she does the biggest pot of gumbo I
Yes,
have
I knew
ever
this.
seen.
When you told me you're like
And
50 pounds of shrimp, I'm like, "How's that even possible? Does she have, like, a cauldron? Like, how
yeah,
does she cook all that?"
it is massive, y'all. And the at first, like my boy cousins and my brother, they're like, "There's no way all that shrimp's in there." And we're like, "But listen, every bite you take, there's shrimp." And
Yeah,
they were like, "Yeah, yeah, it is." I mean, some bites you have
and
multiple
that's a
shrimp. I mean,
lot of people eating that.
oh, and I'm gonna tell you,
Does she do it all in one pot?
oh, it's a huge pot. Yes. My
Oh
mom
my
now goes
gosh.
over and they start first thing in the morning. And I don't even know how many batches of rice my mom cooks.
Well, and I
And
wonder how much roux is used, like, in a
it
pot
is
that much.
massive. And but at the end, like
Yeah.
they're scraping the pot. Because if I mean, if someone's not there, generally one of their moms will like put a bowl
Yeah,
up because
yeah,
this is mama's gumbo.
yeah.
And then we have the dining room table is full of dips and appetizers and
Yes,
just
and I
candies and
love that.
stuff.
I love
I
that.
do too. I do.
So
You just sit
I would
down
love to
and,
have gumbo as our tradition. I have to talk to
oh,
Sean about
it's
this because
you
he
should.
gumbo is of all the stuff that I make, gumbo is one of his favorites. So I make a meal plan at the
Oh,
beginning of the month and I'm always like, okay, tell me 2 things that you would like to see this month on the meal plan. Because his schedule's so crazy, and then with
Mhm.
us doing we do a lot of curbside pickups because of COVID for the groceries. I'm like, I have to plan ahead. I can't just be like, "What do you want
Right.
for dinner tonight?" You know? And so usually he's like, "Gumbo," he says every time.
Really?
Yeah, so we have it
So,
once a
and
month.
it's not just us. It's a very popular thing down here
Oh,
to
for
do
Christmas?
gumbo, yes,
Oh.
for Christmas.
I mean, it
A
makes
lot of
sense
people
because
do
it's
it.
the one of the few times that it's actually cold, maybe. Sometimes we're in
And
shorts at
we do it
Christmas.
Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we do like the traditional ham
Yeah,
and
yeah.
turkey. But also, I'm going to tell you what we do at my grandma's house, and it's we've done it since I was a little kid. Um, Everyone comes in the living room, and now it's too many of us, so we're like kids are in the living room, and people are spreading to the dining room and down the hall. And someone reads from the Bible. They read from Luke.
Really?
Yes, they read from Luke. They read the birth of Jesus. And then, and I used to get so nervous if I was going to read, when I was little.
Uh-huh.
And then we take turns rotating who someone puts baby Jesus in the manger scene because
Mhm.
he's not in the manger scene. And then we pass out presents, and you cannot open the presents. We just pass them all out because mama buys for all 22 grandkids. Last
Mhm.
year she's bought 3 gifts each. That's a lot of gifts and
Wow,
wrapping.
she still does that?
Yes,
3
she
for
still
oh
does
my
it.
word, that's a lot.
It is a lot. And then she goes when they're all passed out, 1, 2, 3, and it is just chaos. And it's so much fun to watch them.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is. So that's our tradition. And we were little, we did the same thing. Of course, when we were little, really little, before my aunts all started having kids, everyone gave us gifts. All the
Yes.
uncles and aunts. And
Yeah,
then as
yeah.
we got older and there were more
Everyone start
kids,
yeah.
it was just the godchildren. And
Yep.
then as we've gotten even older, mama just gives to the great grandkids. So it's
Yeah.
really nice. And she loves it.
Yeah. So we did something similar growing up with, my mom's family is huge, my extended family on that side. And so we always did just the godparents would give gifts to their nieces and nephews or
Mm-hmm.
godchildren because it was so many. And so my grandparents gradually started doing like, a gift card or something, that they could give to everybody. So then we started doing Sean's family does a cousin exchange where they draw names with all their cousins and you get one of your cousins to get a gift
Oh.
for, which I thought that was a great idea. And they still do it as
Mm-hmm.
adults, which is kind of fun because then
Oh,
when you're
nice.
all there for the get together, there's some
Mm-hmm.
gifts exchanged, but it's not like what you were saying. I've got to like think of all these people that I need to get a gift for,
Right,
and so it
right, right.
it takes some of that stress off because also it's hard, which we're going to get to this in a second. Sometimes it's hard figuring out a gift for people. Like some people are
It
hard to
is.
shop for. And so
Yes.
so we just introduced last year or the year before with my siblings, with my nieces and nephews and my own kids. So the oldest is 13 and then down to 15 months.
Yeah.
So they draw names, and so the kids pick out a gift or buy a gift for their cousins.
Oh, that's
And,
nice.
for my little ones who are 3 and 20 months, I'm not telling them what they got their
20-month-old has no
cousin.
idea.
No, I'm not
Mhm.
telling them what they got their cousin, even the 3-year-old. She is gonna that day, I'm gonna be like, "You're gonna give this to Megan," and I'm gonna be like, "We got her something she's gonna like," but I'm not gonna tell her now because 'cause she'll be like, "Megan, we got you a sewing book and we got
Oh,
you,"
for sure.
and
Yeah,
so I'm like, "There's no way she's gonna know until the day of," but with my sister's
right.
kids who are older, they actually think and, like, they use some of their money, and they are like, "Oh, you know what Claire would really like for Christmas?" And so they discuss with their parents
Oh,
what they wanna pick out at the store for their cousin, and so it really, like I think it's really cute to see that 8-year-old getting so excited for the cousin that they picked, and it's a secret, you
and
know?
it's also teaching them because
Yes.
I, at Christmas,
Mhm.
love to give gifts.
Yes, I do too.
And I will like watch my mom open all of her gifts, and my
Yes.
mom's will say, "Are you going to open your gifts?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I am."
Yeah, yeah,
But
but I wanna
open
see
that one,
you react, yeah.
yes, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of thought process in. So
Yes.
it teaches them at a young age how exciting it can
How
be,
nice,
the
yeah.
gift
The
of
feeling of
giving.
giving, yes.
Yes.
And not just receiving, which is really sweet. And then, So they do that. We wait and watch each other when we were growing up. From what I remember, we always would watch each other. We'd kind of go around and we would either start
Open
with
one
the
at a
oldest or the
time.
youngest. So, like, Chris would open a
Mm,
gift, and then Chris would go find one under the tree for me. Then I'd go find one for Jenny, and we'd go off the line, and it wasn't always the same number. So it was like, oh, there's no more left for mom, or there's no more. That was the last
right.
one for Chris, because some people got bigger gifts or smaller gifts, which was fine. I mean, that's a good lesson too. Like, well, Chris had 4 gifts and you have 6, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? That's not a big thing. And so
Yeah.
we would watch, and it was hard when we were little, like, hurry up. My sister's very like picking
Right.
off the tape, we're like, hey, just open it. I want to open my gift, when we were little. But I like that the slowness of that, because we actually would watch. And my in-laws are very similar. My mother-in-law, shout out Elaine, loves giving gifts, loves just, you could just see it in her face. She's just smiling, just watching people open
Yeah.
their gifts, especially the kids. And it
Oh,
is,
yeah.
like even birthdays. I'm like, we're gonna wait till they're here and they can see you
Mm-hmm.
open it, because that's a fun thing. And you've bought gifts for Claire before, and you're like, should I send it? And I'm
Right.
like, she's 3. She's not gonna
I
notice. Next
I
time you
still
see
have her
her,
birthday
I know,
gift.
from August.
And from August.
Well,
Yes.
if you ever make it over here, if there's no more hurricanes this year,
I
knock on
know.
wood.
Let's
Um,
not wait. December 1st, I think, is the
the cutoff.
yes.
So, but I'm like, just wait till you're here, because that is going to be so much more meaningful for her than just getting something in the mail, because you're there and you can see her open it and appreciate
Right.
it. And so we do watch, and when we're with our in-laws too, we watch everybody open gifts. And so we do the cousin exchange, just because, yeah, the more kids you have, I'm like, are we buying it all for all the
Right.
nieces and
It's just
nephews?
too
Are we
it's too
doing,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, kids, my sister and my brother and I were all kind of like, we also are getting a lot of stuff in our house at Christmas, so it's more
Right.
meaningful if it's like they got these gifts from the grandparents, they got this from their godmother, they got this from us,
But
versus like
like
it's just a ton.
your
With
sister
5
Jenny has
kids,
5 kids.
you're going to
So
have
if
so much
she has
stuff.
to buy for your 2 and Chris's 2, then she still has to buy for her
Yeah.
5.
It's
So
a
that's a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Now I will say, talking about gifts, it made me think of when we were younger. My dad opened a gift from my mom, and he's like holding the gift. He's holding it. And me and my brother are like, and my mom's just sitting there. She's like, and my dad's just holding the gift, and he's like, okay, I give up. And my mom was like, it's a paper towel holder. We were all like, what? And my dad was like, okay.
was it a certain kind of decoration? Like
Well,
something
it
with a
had like,
theme?
the thing. No, had some like leaves or something up it. But we were just all like, what is that? And mom's just smiling up the storm. Now,
Yeah.
my mom is also very practical.
Yes. This is
I would
okay. So
not,
let's get into gift giving, because
yes.
people are so different. Like, I have
Oh,
friends that are
yeah.
like, if my husband gave me that for Christmas, I would be like, I don't want a vacuum. I want
Right.
you to give me some jewelry. Whereas I'm like,
Well,
I got a Roomba. I'm thrilled with that.
yeah.
Like, I was like,
And
I asked
yes.
for a Roomba, and he was like, I feel bad buying you a vacuum for Christmas. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want it. I'm going to love it. I swear.
And that's how my mom is. She's
Yeah.
very, I remember when she was riding to work with her carpooler when she was working, and she was like, oh, what did you get your wife? And he was like, oh, I got her sapphire earrings and a bracelet and necklace.
Hmm.
And she was like, oh, that's nice. And he was like, what did you get, Judy? And mom was like, I got a blower for the yard. And he was like, but she was so excited. Like, that
Yeah.
was her diamonds. My mom, and if I got my mom diamonds, I mean, last year
You
I
would
did get
like
her a
them.
diamond. She did.
Yeah.
I gave her a diamond cross last year, and she really, really loved it.
Yeah.
But
Because I would like
that's
those
not every
things
year for my
too.
mom.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And Sean got me a string of pearls one year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I love it. It's beautiful.
Right.
Like I'm not going to be like, oh, jewelry. No, thank you, But
Yes.
I don't mind practical things at all because I tell you what, that Roomba makes my life a hell of a lot easier. Like
Oh,
daily,
absolutely.
weekly, and now we have a dog. So we have dog hair. Don't get me started. That's a whole nother topic.
That's why I love
Um,
Priscilla.
yeah. So in when you're thinking about giving gifts,
Hmm.
think, is this person, do they like practical things? Because I do know women that would be kind of offended. Like,
Oh, 100%. If you
thanks for
got
the
some women
blender.
like a toaster, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
I'm like, a ninja? I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
No,
If it's
those
a nice
ninjas are
Instapot,
nice.
I'll take
Yeah.
it. Um, but other
Yeah.
people would be like, I could buy that myself. Like, you need to, give
Hmm.
me something that's more, you
And I
know,
think nowadays, like you have Amazon, Walmart at almost at every corner. So if your blender or Ninja breaks, you don't wait till
yes,
Christmas. You go out the next day or you
it's
order
true.
it
Yeah.
online and it's there. So
But
it
there
is
are
harder to
upgrades
do
and things
things
like, oh, I got a
for
KitchenAid
sure.
or an Instapot, whereas I was just using a crock pot before. There are, things that you could upgrade that
Yes.
I would say with those things, it needs to be something that you're sure they would want. If you're shopping for a woman,
Yes.
be 100% sure this is something they're going to want in their kitchen, in the house that they are going to use or that
Now,
they
I
want.
will say my
Um,
mom and dad gave me a KitchenAid mixer.
yes,
And
me too. When
it
I was single,
was,
I don't.
yes, probably the best gift because I
Oh yeah,
love to bake and
yes,
I use that joker and I'll start it going and I can walk off and get other things
love
and
it.
add it. Is
People
so
that
if
don't
you
have a
have a,
KitchenAid that just use a handheld one, I'm like, how
ooh,
do you do that? Like,
yes. Now I
I'm so
still use
used
the
to it now. I'm
handheld
like, I don't know
hand.
how you'd use a
It
regular
is
mixer.
so nice. It
Yes.
now they're kind of pricey, but I've also had mine for
Years.
10 years
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm at a point in my life where if my KitchenAid broke, I could go buy a new one.
And I would.
But when I was 25, like, or
Mhm.
22, I was not at that place. And
Right.
so that was a really great gift because it's not something I would have bought for myself. The same as a Roomba. I would not have bought a Roomba for myself, but I Sean did know that I wanted it. I was like, he's like, you think you're gonna use it? Yeah, I'm gonna use it. And
Yeah,
I
for
do.
sure.
And so if it is something that's more practical or like a gadget kitchen household item, blower, as your mom likes, be
She loves
sure
him.
be sure that it's something that the person you're wanting to give it to really wants.
Yeah.
Because that's something that's kind of like we said, it can go either way. Jewelry, most everybody's gonna like jewelry. I
Yeah.
don't know that you can
And
mess
I'll
that
tell
up.
you
I
another
don't think you
thing.
can. I don't think anybody's like, I don't like sapphires. I like emeralds. Maybe they are. I mean, I'm not that big of a Karen, so I can't speak for them, but
I'll take both.
I'll take
But
both.
I also give every year my mom and my aunt a massage. And
Yes.
every year, and y'all, I've done this for almost 15 years.
Uh-huh.
Every year they're like, oh, what is it? And I'm like, it's in the
You
same
know.
envelope. It says the massage
I
place
love
on the
that.
front.
Yes, but
Um,
I love
and my
that. That they're
cousin
just like,
Maddie is so mad because she was like, "Are you getting my mom a massage?" And I was like, "Yes,
what am I
that's
gonna get
like
her?
that's in the bank. That's every year I got her that
Yes.
gift. So don't even try to come after
And
that."
so speaking of gift giving ideas, and so the first tip is know if they like practical things or not,
Right. That's
especially,
very
with
important.
women. I think men like practical things more than women do in general.
For yeah.
And then the other thing is you can always bank on things that are like you can use up, like gift cards,
Hmm.
subscriptions.
Although I'll be honest, I'm not a gift card person at Christmas besides the
I
massage.
Well, that's what I mean, a specific thing that you could use up. So
Right.
I
Oh
got
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so my sister got a Keurig last year, which I messaged
Oh.
my brother-in-law and was like, I think Jenny would really like a Keurig. And they have
And
very
does she
limited
like
counter
it?
space, very limited counter space. But I know she drinks her coffee cold every day of the week because she has kids and it gets cold. She heats it up and then she heats
Oh
it up
yeah.
again, then she heats it
I
up
was about to
again.
say, who likes cold coffee?
Nobody does, but she just doesn't get back to it because of the
Mm-hmm.
kids in the
Mm-hmm.
morning. And so I told him and he's like, I have to think about it.
Get back to normal.
So then my brother-in-law told my sister that he has a really good
Oh.
gift idea for her. And he's like, and she tells me, I'm kind of nervous because usually she's like, usually I just tell him what I want. And half the time I order it myself. And she's like, and then it comes and he wraps it. But she's like, cause she's like, or I can send him a link of the exact thing that I want. And she's
Oh,
like, so
that's
half
so
the time
funny.
that's just what they just kind of decide this is what I'm going to get for
Right,
Christmas,
right.
and she doesn't mind. She's very practical. She doesn't mind that it's not a surprise, that's just her personality. So she's like, I'm kind of nervous because David said he has a really good gift idea for me and that he's going to get me something I'm really going to like. And she's like, but I haven't told him any hints. I haven't told him anything. And she's telling me, and I'm just chuckling because I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what it is, So I
'Cause
don't
it's
say
your idea.
anything.
Right.
And then a couple weeks later, because I told him like Black Friday sales, I told him like Keurigs are on sale, or something. And
Mhm.
so then a couple weeks later, she texts me, she's like, okay, wait a minute. David says that I shouldn't be worried because it was Betsy's idea to begin with. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, now I'm just really excited. So like
Oh, yeah.
last year during Advent, she was super excited because she was like, okay, one, I don't know what it is, which is unusual. And two, Betsy suggested it. And my husband also thought it'd be a really good idea. So she loves it. So
Mhm.
I got them for Christmas. I got him like a bottle of Bailey's and I got him a huge pack of Keurig.
Oh,
Um,
the cups,
the
the
cups
mini,
because I
yeah.
knew they would use
Mhm.
regular coffee, and
Right,
in the
right.
little reusable cup, but I was like, I'm gonna get him like fancy stuff. So I got a huge like box of all of that and I got him some Baileys. So usable things like that I know them
Mhm.
and they're very practical and they're on a budget. So they're not gonna go out and buy like fancy coffee cup, K cups for their Keurig. They're gonna use regular coffee.
Right,
And so it's just a treat. So for people that are hard to shop for too, I think those kind of things that they're going to use up, not necessarily like
right.
here's a gift card to the mall, but
Yeah.
here's a gift card to the movies, if they don't go out,
Oh, that's a
well,
good
who
idea.
knows with
Right.
COVID, but you know what I mean, like to
Mm.
a steakhouse or to something they wouldn't normally do, a massage,
Mhm.
spa thing for a manicure or pedicure.
Right.
Those are usually always going to go over well. I don't know any women who are going to be like, oh, you got me a spa day? Like, no, thank you.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yeah, that's a
even if
great
they don't,
gift.
I literally have had like 2 massages in my life and have had probably 3 pedicures in my life. I would be happy with that too. Like, I don't know
Oh, it's
anyone.
so
And then
nice.
Angela, who is more of a regular as far as
Mhm.
pedicures and manicures go,
They know me.
they know you. She would be happy with it also. So kind of like
Oh, for
any of the
sure. Yeah.
spectrum would be happy with that. When
And I'll
Amazon
also
Prime was
say,
just kind of becoming a thing, I got my parents a subscription for Amazon Prime for a
oh, that's a
year.
good idea. Yeah.
And
Hold on.
so those kind of so they actually
That's
really
really
appreciate it.
good.
And I don't think
Mhm.
that they realized how nice it is to have Amazon Prime. And then also the video element of it, as far as TV and movies and stuff. I don't think they just didn't realize like, oh, we'd really
What
like this.
all c
Right, what all it
yes.
entails. And so I
So
got it for the first year, then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna keep doing this." Um, but yeah,
I
those type of
did,
subscriptions,
I did my
family,
grandmother
yeah.
Southern Living magazine
Uh-huh.
for 1 year, and she loved it because Southern Living, I mean, who
Yeah,
doesn't love Southern
yeah.
Living? And then another year for my nieces, the older ones, Macy, Kirsten, Dana, and Allie Grace,
Mhm.
I did a FabFitFun box.
Which you really liked, right?
Oh, yes, and
And that's something
so
they
it
wouldn't get
was
for
so hard though,
themselves,
I'll
you
be
know?
honest, setting it up because
Oh,
each
yeah.
box had to have a different email address.
Oh,
And
you couldn't just do it as
yes,
gifts?
no. And I was like,
That's
this is
weird. I thought you could
difficult.
buy it as a
Yes.
gift.
No. So I'm using my mom's email. I'm using Maddie's email because I had five. And then I ended up with 6 boxes. So my mom got a box and she was like, wow, I got a box.
Like she won the lottery. So
She
that's
loved
fun.
it
So those
almost as
kind
good
of
as as much as the girls.
yeah,
Yeah.
so those kind of subscription things, I think memberships, like, my parents got us a membership to the aquarium
The
here, which
aquarium,
is
that
really
is really
nice,
nice.
or a
Yes.
zoo or things like that, especially with kids, those are really nice
Mm-hmm.
things to have, because hello, that's like an annual membership. That's really valuable, and it's something you can do with the kids if you're like, "Okay, they don't need any more toys." So I
Right.
think practical, no, for sure if they're gonna like it, if it's practical,
Right.
if they're a practical type person, which I
Mm-hmm.
am.
And I
Um
also think Sentimental. You
I was
cannot
about to
go
say
wrong with
sentimental.
sentimental.
So
Yes.
sentimental, I know very few people, and I know 0 women who are not gonna be touched by something sentimental.
Right.
You had done a painting of your mama's
I
house.
did because Mama is not now she's 92, but last year, I think it was last year, I gave her and my mom a picture of Mama's house
Mhm.
and put, Papania Roots on Mom's, and I put Home Sweet Home on Mama's, and I had them matted and framed,
And it was like a
and they,
watercolor rendition of it, right?
yes,
You
and
sent
it
in to
was
someone.
really, it was so nice, and
Was that on Etsy?
it was, yes, no,
Okay.
maybe Etsy or Jane, I can't
Okay.
remember. And I mean, my mama started crying, and
Yeah.
I was like, you
Yes.
know.
It worked. I'm
But and mom immediately hung hers up. And when my aunt came in, my aunt was like, I want one.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I ended up getting her one later, and another uncle got one. So it's just, you
Yes.
cannot go wrong with
And there's so
sentimental.
many things to do with sentimental now. I mean, I saw where
Etsy is great,
they
a great
make like tea
idea.
towels and they can print a
Hmm.
recipe card that someone you love
Or I
wrote
was
out
about
by
to say,
hand.
yes, you can put it on
It's
a platter.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
I have recipes of my grandma that she wrote her
Yeah.
recipes. And I was like, I
That's
think
so cool.
later I'll put that on a platter,
Yeah.
because yes, it's
So
a
there's
wonderful
so
gift.
many different things. I mean, if you look up
Hmm.
personalized or memorabilia, last year we did one of those keepsake boxes where you send in the VHS tapes. They put everything on DVD.
Oh,
We did that, and
nice.
we don't have that many home videos, so it was like 13 VHS tapes or something.
Right.
And so I did that for my parents last year and got it all on just on digital, so you can
On
burn,
DVD.
yeah, DVD, and then also on the computer, because then my sister and my brother and I can each get a copy just on a jump drive.
Now,
Um,
my mom did that for my brother and I,
uh-huh.
and it was of our dad. And
That's
if
nice.
y'all, I mean, I'm sure my dad's passed. And I remember watching it Christmas morning and just like I couldn't even
Yeah.
control myself.
Yeah.
And I know my mom was like, "Oh, I did good." And
Yes,
I
right
mean,
back at you, Angela, making me cry.
it is. I know it is something that I absolutely
Mhm.
100% cherish. She's also given me, he made in first or second grade like a picture, and she had of him coloring it,
Oh,
and she's framed it, and that's on my bookshelf.
that's really nice, yeah,
So you cannot,
and you
like
don't
anything that is associated with my dad, of course I'm gonna love
you're
it.
gonna love it, of course,
So
and
yeah.
I can say you don't have to make people cry. It could be sentimental, but it's
But you
okay
can
if they
cry
don't
for a
cry.
good thing,
Yes, crying is a good thing. I'm just saying, like,
right.
I did, I found someone who made these little ornaments of kids' silhouettes. So just the
Oh
black and white
yeah.
silhouette, and it has their
Mm-hmm.
name on the bottom. So last year, the year before, I got a set of all the grandkids' silhouettes. Yeah, it was the year before because Michael was in utero. And I sent a sonogram to the lady who did them, and she did one of him in utero.
Wow.
It was like baby Hutzler. But the rest of them were put the grandkid's name on it with a silhouette, and you could see the silhouette. You could tell which kid it was. So I gave a set of those to my parents for Christmas. They did not
Oh,
cry, but they
nice.
were very happy. They hung them all on the tree. They thought it was really sweet. Like it's a
It's
sweet
a great
memory to
idea.
have. And so
My
there's
cat,
just so many options right now.
yeah,
Like I think, 40 years ago, you would have had to be able to create those things yourself. Like, can
yourself,
you do a
right?
watercolor of your grandmother's house?
Mm-mm,
Well, then you're out of
mm-mm.
luck. Like,
Yeah,
or you can pay someone like
seventeen
$300 to
ninety
commission
five.
it,
Yeah,
or you can go on Etsy and you can get it, very realistic. It's
good.
not that
Yes,
bad. So,
my cousin Brandy also made a quilt. She's
mhm,
good at like quilting
yeah,
for my grandma, because my grandma, she's 90. Now
yeah.
she's 92 now. But when you're 85, 86, it's really difficult to buy for her.
Oh,
But she
yeah.
made a quilt. On one side has all the grandkids
Uh-huh. Like
names,
pictures
and
or names? Okay.
no, just their names. And if they're married, like Michael and Brandy,
Yeah.
Luke and Kim. And then on
Wow.
the other side was the great grandkids. Now, that needs to be updated because
There's more.
there's a lot more. But still, that's a really, and when I saw it, I thought, and Mama doesn't use that blanket because she doesn't want anything to happen to it because
Yeah.
it's so special, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
So there is, yes, anything sentimental you cannot go wrong with.
You can't really go wrong. I think especially with women. And I know men
Yes,
appreciate it
for sure.
too, you know, but I do think if you're looking for girlfriend, wife, sister, mom, if there's something sentimental, you know, from childhood or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I can get my parents and my in-laws anything with the kids pretty much. I just did,
Right.
you know, I did a set of 4 coasters with their pictures on them from Shutterfly. And, you know, they're like,
I
"Oh, I
was just
love it."
about to say
Or a
last year for,
calendar. It's not hard to
yes,
make a calendar, but they
no,
love the calendars. They put it, you know,
yes.
she put it in her office for her mother-in-law and just like seeing the pictures every month, you know?
I did my brother a travel mug that he puts his coffee in the
Uh-huh.
morning with him and like 4 or 5 pictures of him and his daughter,
Yeah.
you know, and she gave it to him last year for Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was Shutterfly. And really, it's easy to do and
Yeah.
it was not very expensive.
Mhm.
So those, yeah, wonderful gifts.
Okay, so I think that's our do you have any other gift
Yeah.
giving recommendations?
Also, for women, I don't know if you can go wrong with a candle.
Bath things.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like a good candle?
Yeah, I do like candles. It's funny you say
Or
that because I have been using mine up. And
yes,
because like you said, I'm
I
like, "I'm gonna
try
use
to.
these up." So I've been using them up and I'm like, "Oh, I might actually have to buy a candle or 2 around Christmas because I like the pine scented ones and like Christmassy scents."
Oh, you
Um,
should try. I'll tell you. Bath and Body Work. No,
mhm.
Bed Bath and no Bath and Body Works. I get those confused.
Yes.
They have Marshmallow Fireside.
That sounds like it'd be
It
good.
is so. It does
Little of
smell good.
the
And I'll give
campfire.
y'all a little hint. Well, this is out. The candle day is December 4th and 5th. So this will come out after that. So sorry.
We get no commission or anything from this. We're just telling you because we love you.
We love y'all.
And we
Merry
want you to have a great
Christmas.
Christmas. And it is really fun giving gifts.
Mhm.
So after Christmas, we're probably going to have to talk about our favorite gift that we gave and our favorite gift that we received
Oh,
because I
yeah.
definitely I mean, gifts are part of it and I don't think it's
Mhm.
materialistic or superficial to talk about it
Mm-mm.
because I love giving gifts and I love seeing people's
Mhm.
happy faces, you know, it's really fun. So, yeah,
And I'm so excited already because I
cuz you've
shop
already you
throughout
shop
the
all year.
whole
Yeah.
year. And I
Yeah.
just have a closet and everyone knows don't go to the closet except if
Here's
I
it.
die. Make a quick go to that closet as quick as you can and get whatever you want. But
I'm
I
going to come to
actually
your
had
house and I'm
my
going to be like, "Look, I know what all these things are for and who they're for." So,
I had my niece. She's taller than I am, and I was like,
yeah.
I need you to get up in that closet in the top thing. And she's like, oh, Aunt Angela,
The gift
I can
closet.
get in the gift closet. And I was like, just look up at the top. Don't look anywhere else. And I had to look in the closet real quick, and I was like, okay, none of this is for you. So yes, go ahead.
My last tip would be to make a note on your phone or somewhere throughout the year when you hear people like that don't buy stuff for themselves right away. But if you hear
Oh
people mention
yeah,
a book, like my parents aren't going to just go out and buy stuff for themselves. They just don't think that way. So if I hear my mom say, "Oh yeah, I wanted to try this," or "Oh, what do you think of that? Is that working well for you? I'm interested in this," or "I think I would like this." Then I make a note on my
that's a
phone
great
that
idea.
says like,
Yes.
"Mom, this," you know, just little things like, you know, my sister-in-law had mentioned that she wanted or she needed a new leather like clutch wallet. And this was probably 2 months before Christmas, but I know her and I know she didn't just go out and buy one. She kept hers, it was
Right.
falling apart. And so I got her that for Christmas. And I'm like, I'm gonna go
Oh
get her a
no.
nice one, practical, but
That
also
was this year?
fun. No, it was a year or two
Okay,
ago.
good. I was
I'm
about
not
to
giving
say,
anything
don't give
away.
anything
Don't worry.
away.
But we
Yes.
kind of like share ideas like that. Like if I have already got a gift for my dad, then I think of something or I hear him say something, I'll text my brother and my sister, be like, "Hey, this might be
That's a
something
great
dad might
idea.
want," you know? So share
Now,
ideas and I do make notes. I mean, it could be, you know, summertime and I'm like, "Oh, that my mom complimented this mirror or complimented whatever it was, you know, or said she wanted to read this book."
right.
And so, yeah, so I really like try and do it then because you're going to forget. And then it's going to be November and you're going to be like, "What am I
What am
supposed to
I
get
gonna
my
get them?
grandma?"
Yes.
Like,
And I'll be
she doesn't
honest,
need anything.
that's why I like shopping all year because if I
Mhm.
see something and I'm like, oh, my mom would like
That's
this.
perfect.
It's
Yep.
it's in my closet. And
Yep.
probably around November, I start going through the closet to
See,
see
that's my
exactly what
problem.
I have.
Is when I
Because
do that, I
yes.
end up with too much. Like, I'll be
Oh
like,
my
"That's perfect for
gosh.
my husband." And then all of a sudden I'll
Yes.
look in the closet and I'll be like, "I've already spent like $500 on him."
My
Okay,
mom
that's an
last year was
exaggeration.
like,
But I'll be
Angela,
like, "I've got
yeah.
10 gifts for him already." I didn't
Hmm.
realize like I had been like stockpiling stuff in my
And
closet.
then they actually say, hey, I need this for Christmas. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you need
Like,
something
"Or
else,
can
huh?
I get this for Christmas?" And I'm like, "I've
Right.
already spent a lot of money on
I
you."
know. I
But they're
know.
all really good gifts. I've had to tell
I'm
my
the same
husband
way.
too, "Don't buy that," because
Oh
I'll
my
buy it for him,
gosh.
and then I'm like, "Look, after Halloween, you're not allowed to buy anything for yourself before
My
you consult
dad was
me."
the same way. He came
Yes.
one year, he came home from work. It was like the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
And he's like, look what I got. And it was a food processor or something. And
You're
me
like,
and my mom were like, it is already, there is one wrapped under the tree for
yeah.
him. And my mom was like, it's okay. We're just going to give it to him because he shouldn't be buying gifts this
Yes,
close to
you should not be
Christmas.
buying yourself anything. So I have to tell
Yes.
him. I also had to say he has an Amazon wish list that he gives to like his parents or whoever. His
Mm-hmm.
godmother, his aunt, contacted me and was like, "What do you think for Sean?" And I said, "Well, here's the list. I've already got stuff for him. So whatever. Well, then she told me, or she bought something off of there. She had discussed it with me. So I took
Mm-hmm.
it off his list and it was like a board game. So like a few days later, Sean's like, yeah, I don't know. I knew I had that board game on there, but it wasn't on there, so I put it back on. And I took it off so that like his
Oh, so no
siblings
one
and his
else would
parents
buy it.
wouldn't buy it.
Yes.
So I'm like, I said, "Okay, can you not mess with it? What you have on there is what you want. If you see something missing, just don't worry about it." And he's
Right,
like,
right.
"Well, I'm just saying I really want it." And I'm like, I just looked at him. I gave him
He
the
didn't give
look.
a
I
hint?
gave him the look and he was like, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't wanna tell you you're getting that, but at the same
Right,
time, like,
right.
I don't want 5 people getting you the same thing?"
Yes,
So,
exactly.
and I don't know, I thought Amazon did a thing, like, if you buy it directly from that link, like, I clicked on it on Sean's list and bought it,
I thought
it
it said
might
the same
hide
thing.
it, but
Yes,
not tell him,
right. I
but from
think it
other
does
people
do
viewing
that.
it. But for some
Exactly.
reason, and maybe it's because I deleted it, so I was like, "Ugh," but a lot of times people don't
Mm.
buy it from that list, they find it somewhere else or, whatever.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, I had to like, I was like, gosh darn it, I don't want to tell you, but at the same time, like, don't put it on there again. Like,
Yeah.
so
So,
okay, those are
all
our gift
right.
giving tips.
Yeah, those are
And
our ideas. That's what we do for Christmas.
yeah, this was a long episode, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I mean, I think we could still keep talking,
I
but
could keep
we're gonna
talking about
stop.
Advent. I can't wait. And now with the kids, I'm trying to think like, how do you get them excited during all of Advent without it
Well,
just
I
being
think
like
with
Santa's
kids,
coming,
I
you
was about to
know?
say, kids at first, you need to focus on like Santa Claus and not
Yeah.
them being scared. And then you can bring in like, oh, baby Jesus,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think my favorite image of Christmas
Yes.
is the baby Jesus in the manger and
Uh-huh.
Santa like taking a knee,
I need to get one of those
kneeling.
too. Yeah, I
It
do really
is
like that image.
my and I generally put that for on Facebook or something. I put that as my profile picture. It is my favorite because that is what it's
Yeah, yeah, and I
But
do really love that, and it's in some ways, it's easy with kids because 'cause they're so young, they'll just kinda, like, get excited.
okay,
They'll get excited
right,
about
right,
baby Jesus,
right,
and,
right.
but yeah, so it's just nice. I mean, my daughter's favorite thing is a Christmas tree. I don't know if you came when we had it up, but last year, anyone that came to the house, she'd be like, "Let me show you our Christmas tree." Like, she would, like, present it. She's like, "And we have a Christmas tree." Like, so serious, like,
My niece this
"We
year,
have a
Georgia,
Christmas tree." And I'm like,
she
"Yes, Claire, they know. You already told them. They've been to our house
Georgia
10
helped
times."
she helped me put up the red and white one,
Uh-huh.
but the other one that has all breakable ornaments, I did it myself. And then the next day I brought her over and I was like, what do you think? And she was like, oh,
Yes. Yes, I
and I
love
was like,
it.
oh, she goes, it's beautiful. And I said, what's beautiful? And she's like, Everything is
Yes.
beautiful.
And it's so, that's the thing is it really is. I do put a string of white lights in their room at night instead of
Oh,
like a
that's
nightlight.
sweet. Yeah.
And it's just something special to have, you know, for Christmas time. So yeah. Anyway, we hope you guys are getting
Okay.
excited. Oh,
Yes.
last note I just wanted to say.
Oh my gosh.
Christmas music.
What?
Christmas music.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
don't think you can do any better than Mariah Carey.
I do like Mariah Carey. I like the traditional Christmas music, but even that I can only take so much of.
I need you to start Christmas music after Thanksgiving.
Yes. So November
that's not
1st, one of the
happening
radio
anymore.
stations I
Yes!
listen to, which is an 80s and 90s station. I'm in the car, November 1st. They are all Christmas starting November 1st. And I'm like,
No,
I can't listen to it for that long.
no.
And I
don't
like
need
Christmas
chestnuts
music.
roasting that long.
I like Christmas music, but the problem is I'm like, it's going to be the same 20 songs
Right.
over and over. And I'm like,
And also,
I'm in a
have
freaking
problem.
elevator.
Can I say something controversial?
Uh-oh.
Which I have no problem with Santa Baby.
I
just don't.
I don't either. I was like,
Sorry.
when people had a problem with it, I was like, oh, I still like that song.
Yeah, I do too. I like that, and whatever. Mariah Carey, bring it on.
Okay. Anyway, so
After
Christmas music,
Thanksgiving.
we're just going to say after Thanksgiving is a good
Mhm.
time. I know the stores
For
already have
sure.
it on and people must like it, Angela, even though we don't like it in freaking November 1st. Other people must like it that early because the stores are doing it.
Yes,
And people, they're not losing customers, but
someone
I'm like,
likes it.
oh,
I need to find that person and tell them.
yes, because I can't. I'm like, I can't. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So we both agree on that.
Completely. Gotcha, Karen.
I got your back. I got your back.
All right.
Okay, so we are gonna sign off. We
Okay,
have one more
yeah,
episode
so
this season
Y'all
that
should
we'll
be
see you guys
excited.
next week. Yeah, and we
Yes.
have a guest next week.
We do an exciting guest who hasn't been on yet.
That's not a new guest for our final episode of season 1. And so you guys get in the Christmas spirit, start decorating. We hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving a few days ago. And that's it.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Happy everything.
Yay!
And comment below if you do some of the similar stuff that we do, or if you do different stuff, or if you agree with us with the music or with the movies. We love to see your comments.
Yes.
So please comment, and you too can be a super fan. Where's John Bauer?
Where is John Bauer?
I mean, he was right there with us the first 5 episodes. And
you know what?
We lost him at the period episode.
Oh, did we lose him in the period episode?
I'm just kidding.
Well, we haven't talked about our period since. So come on, John.
Come on, John. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're talking about Christmas.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to call him out on Facebook about this.
I think you just called him out.
I know, but I'm going to have to,
Okay.
he won't hear this unless I call him out on Facebook. Okay. Anyway, have a great night, day, and a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
and God
y'all.
bless everyone.
That's very good.